I stood outside the glass doors of Tide Bookstore, wrapped in a camel coat, as fine mist condensed into golden specks under the streetlights. In my hand, I clutched a hot cocoa Elliot had just bought. He knew I hated it too sweet, so he'd added only half a spoonful of maple syrup, and the warmth of his fingertips still lingered on the mug. Evelyn? The voice was like a rusted key, jamming into the lock of my memories before I could brace myself. My entire body stiffened, the heat of the cocoa spread to the back of my neck, but it couldn't warm the sudden chill in my blood. Turning around, the man in the fog removed his sunglasses, messy chestnut curls ruffled by the wind, a high nose dusted with tiny water droplets, exactly as he'd looked 3 years ago when we parted at New York's Grand Central Station. Sebastian. Long time no see. His voice was deeper and hoarser than I remembered. San Francisco's fog blurred the fine lines at his eyes, but it couldn't hide those emerald green eyes that had once enchanted me, now swirling with dark currents, like the depths of the Pacific. I took an unconscious step back, the edge of my new phone digging into my palm through my coat pocket. The lock screen was a photo of Elliot and me at Marin Headlands last week. He'd wrapped his arms around me from behind, his smile glowing like sun-warmed metal. What are you doing here? My voice tightened as I traced the rim of the mug. 3 years ago, he dragged his suitcase onto a flight to Paris, saying he wanted to pursue purer artistic ideals, leaving me to pack up the paintbrushes and unfinished canvases scattered across our New York apartment. No argument, no proper goodbye, only a final text, Evelyn, I'm sorry. I need freedom. I had an exhibition in Paris. Moved back to San Francisco 3 months ago. Sebastian's gaze fell on the hot cocoa, a bitter smile tugging at his lips. You still love this. It's just a habit. I avoided his eyes, my heart squeezed by an invisible hand. In 3 years, I'd moved from New York to San Francisco, changed jobs, and met Elliot. My life had been as calm and steady as the Pacific waves, until his appearance, like a boulder thrown into a still lake, shattered all peace in an instant. I've been looking for you everywhere. Sebastian's tone turned urgent. Your New York apartment was sold, and your former colleagues at the gallery said you'd moved here. Evelyn, I was selfish 3 years ago. I valued art more than anything else, and I ignored how you felt. His words cut like a blunt knife. Memories flooded back, countless nights waiting alone for him to come home from his sketches, our anniversaries forgotten in his studio, and that final phrase, I need freedom, a thorn buried deep in my chest. It's all in the past. We're over. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. We're not over. He stepped forward, reaching for my hand, but I pulled away instinctively, nearly spilling the cocoa. Every single day in Paris, I thought about you. He pulled a sketchbook from his backpack and handed it to me. I painted these all for you. The familiar brushstrokes carried vivid colors and delicate emotion. Opening to the first page, I saw myself sitting on a bench in New York's Central Park, reading under sunlight filtering through leaves, warmth so intense it took my breath away. Every subsequent page held my silhouette, organizing paintings at the gallery, making coffee in the kitchen, even scowling in anger. My eyes burned, those moments I'd thought forgotten had been preserved in his art all along. But the hurt was done, and time could never turn back. The paintings are beautiful, but they can't change anything. I closed the sketchbook and handed it back. I'm happy now. You have a boyfriend? His gaze sharpened suddenly. I nodded, a surge of certainty rising in my chest. Yes. His name's Elliot, he's an architect. We've been together for almost a year. Sebastian's face paled, the light fading from his green eyes. So you've completely let me go? It's not about letting go, it's about forgiving. I met his eyes. 3 years ago, I was heartbroken and resentful, but time healed that. Elliot is kind and thoughtful, he knows what I need. He asks me to art exhibitions, remembers all our anniversaries, and leaves the light on for me when he works late. Just last week, I'd had a bad cold and fever. He'd cancelled an important meeting to stay by my side for 2 days, making ginger soup and reading to me. That feeling of being cherished was something I'd never had with Sebastian. Sebastian fell silent for a long time, mist dampening his eyelashes. He treats you well, doesn't he? Yes. Then, are you happy? His voice trembled. I am. I answered sincerely. Once, I'd thought happiness could only come from him, but now I understood, happiness is two people cherishing each other and walking together. Sebastian closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. When he opened them again, he was calm. I see. I'm sorry for disturbing you, I just couldn't let go. He paused. Evelyn, I wish you happiness. With that, he turned and walked into the fog, his figure fading away. I stood there, the hot cocoa now cold in my hand, my heart a jumble of conflicting emotions. What are you thinking about? A warm hand settled on my shoulder, Elliot's voice like a spring breeze. He was wearing a gray trench coat, holding my scarf in his hand, a gentle smile on his face. I've been waiting a while, I thought the fog had trapped you. I ran into an old friend. I took the scarf and wrapped it around my neck, soaking in his warmth. Elliot sensed my mood was off and gently squeezed my hand. Not feeling happy? Hesitantly, I told him about running into Sebastian, my heart fluttering with anxiety. He listened quietly, then brushed a strand of hair from my face. So you're feeling torn, huh? A little. I nodded. I thought I'd moved on, but seeing him again brought back so many memories. It's okay. Elliot looked at me softly. Everyone has a past. What matters is that we're together now, cherishing each other. I won't force you to forget the past, but I'll use my love to make your present and future full of happiness. If you need time to sort through your feelings, I'll wait. His words warmed my heart like a stream of sunlight. Thank you, Elliot. Silly girl, no need to thank me. He tapped my nose gently. Come on, I reserved a table at your favorite restaurant. We'll lose it if we don't hurry. I smiled and nodded, letting him lead me into the thickening fog. His hand was warm and strong, filling me with a sense of security I'd never known before. Over the next few days, I tried to focus on work and life, hoping to brush off Sebastian's appearance. But on Friday afternoon, as I organized paintings at the gallery, he showed up again. Can we talk? He stood at the door, wearing a white shirt, holding a bouquet of white, my favorite flower. With clients and colleagues around, I didn't want to cause a scene, so I led him to the back lounge. I'm sorry for bothering you again. He held out the flowers. I remembered you loved these. Sebastian, we already talked. I didn't take the flowers. I know, but I just can't accept it. His eyes pleaded with me. Give me another chance, please. I'll change. I'll learn to cherish you, to balance art and life. I can be like Elliot, you to exhibitions, remember all our anniversaries, be there for you when you need me. This isn't something you can imitate. I looked at him steadily. You don't love me, you love the idea of me, or the feeling of not having lost. You got used to me giving, and now you're unwilling to let go. But that's not love. That's not true. He retorted eagerly. I do love you. Every day for 3 years in Paris, I thought about you. I painted hundreds of pictures of you, each one filled with longing. Longing isn't love. I said calmly. Love is respect, understanding, and tolerance. It's being willing to face anything together. But 3 years ago, you chose to leave, to abandon me. Now you come back expecting everything to go back to how it was, that's selfish. Sebastian's face darkened, and he stumbled over his words, unable to respond. I'm happy now. Elliot gives me the life I've always wanted. My tone turned serious. Please don't bother me again, and don't come to the gallery, it's my workplace. As I turned to leave, Sebastian suddenly grabbed my wrist. What if I told you I didn't leave because I didn't love you? What if I left because I was seriously ill and didn't want to burden you? I froze, staring at him in disbelief. What are you saying? His eyes reddened as he let go of my wrist, pulling a medical record from his pocket. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with severe bipolar disorder. The doctor said if I didn't get treatment right away, it could be life-threatening, even dangerous for the people around me. I was terrified of letting you see me during an episode, of dragging you down, so I chose to go to Paris for treatment. My hands trembled as I took the medical record. The diagnosis and treatment records were clearly printed on the pages. My mind went blank, 3 years of doubt and resentment surged forth, only to be shattered by this sudden truth. Why didn't you tell me? My voice shook, and tears fell unbidden. I didn't want you to worry, didn't want you to give up your life for me. Sebastian's voice cracked. I thought once I was cured, I could come back to you. But I never imagined that in 3 years, you'd have a new life. You're so stupid. I covered my mouth, tears streaming down my face. The man I'd resented for so long had been hiding such pain. Evelyn, I know it's too late now. His eyes were filled with agony and despair. But I had to tell you the truth. I couldn't bear the thought of you hating me for the rest of your life. At that moment, the lounge door opened. Elliot stood there, holding a coffee. He froze for a split second when he saw us, then quickly regained his composure. Sorry for interrupting. His voice was still gentle, but there was a hint of distance in it. Elliot, it's not what you think. I hastily wiped away my tears. He smiled and handed me the coffee. I came to pick you up from work. Passed by the cafe and got your favorite latte. He nodded politely at Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian, nice to see you again. Thank you for taking care of Evelyn. Sebastian's eyes were filled with complicated emotions. It's what I'm supposed to do. Elliot took my hand. Evelyn, let's go. I nodded, letting him lead me out of the lounge. As we left the gallery, I glanced back. Sebastian was still standing at the door, his figure lonely and desolate. When we got home, I locked myself in my room, staring at the medical record and crying. Elliot didn't disturb me, he just left dinner outside my door silently. That night, I tossed and turned in bed, Sebastian's words echoing in my ears. The truth was a double-edged sword, it had answered my questions, but left me torn. Still awake? Elliot's voice came from the doorway. He was wearing pajamas, holding a glass of warm milk. Come in. I sat up and turned on the light. He walked in and handed me the milk. It'll help you sleep. I took a sip, the warmth calming me slightly. Elliot, I'm sorry for making you misunderstand today. I didn't misunderstand. He sat beside me, brushing my hair gently. I know you're torn right now, between the truth about the past and our present feelings. If you need time to sort it out, I'll wait. But Sebastian was sick when he left. I feel so bad for him. Guilt filled my eyes. I understand. Elliot said softly. Anyone would feel sorry to hear that. But Evelyn, the past is the past. No matter the reason, he chose to leave you, to let you suffer alone for 3 years. And now, I'm the one by your side, I won't let you get hurt again. His words were like a beacon, illuminating my confused heart. Looking into his sincere eyes, the guilt and hesitation faded away. Thank you. I know what to do now. The next morning, I took the initiative to contact Sebastian and asked him to meet me at a cafe by the sea. Thank you for agreeing to see me. He looked haggard, with dark circles under his eyes. I want to talk properly. My tone was calm but firm. I read the medical record. I'm sorry for what you went through, and thank you for telling me the truth. But Sebastian, that doesn't mean we can go back to how things were. I know. He hung his head, his voice hoarse. I just needed you to know the truth. I didn't want you to hate me forever. I never hated you, I resented your disappearance without a word. I looked at him. Now that the truth is out, that resentment is gone. But 3 years have changed so much. I'm not the same Evelyn I was, and you're not the same Sebastian. I understand. He looked up, a look of acceptance in his eyes. Elliot's a good man, he cherishes you more than I ever did. I wish you happiness. I will be. I smiled. And I hope you'll be okay too. You're incredibly talented, may your art take you far. A genuine smile tugged at Sebastian's lips. Thank you, Evelyn. I wish you happiness. This time, his eyes held nothing but sincere blessing. I smiled, put away my phone, and walked quickly toward the sea. The sea breeze carried a salty tang, brushing the hair from my face and dispersing the last of the haze in my heart. San Francisco's coastline curved gently, the wooden boardwalk glowing with a warm luster. Tourists sat on rocks or walked hand in hand, their faces relaxed and content. In the distance, the Golden Gate Bridge stood out against the orange sky, its towers bathed in soft golden light from the setting sun. Far away, I saw Elliot's figure. He was leaning against a cream-colored Porsche convertible, wearing a white knit sweater and khaki chinos, his sleeves rolled up to reveal the watch I'd given him. The setting sun outlined his gentle features. When he saw me, his eyes lit up instantly, a smile with dimples spreading across his face. Did you wait long? I walked up to him, my fingers brushing the copy of Sebastian's medical record I'd forgotten to return, still in my pocket. Not long, just got here. He took the canvas bag from my shoulder and took my hand, his thumb caressing the lines of my palm. It's windy by the sea, want my jacket? He unzipped a beige wool jacket from the car, which smelled of light cedar. I shook my head, squeezing his hand tightly. No, this is perfect. His palm was broad and warm, filling me with a sense of stability I'd never felt with Sebastian, whose hands had always been cool from the paint, and whose touch had often been distracted. We walked slowly along the coastline, the sand soft under our feet, our footprints quickly erased by the waves. The sun sank lower, painting the sky a brilliant orange, the clouds gilded and reflecting on the sea in shimmering ripples, beautiful enough to be one of Sebastian's most vivid paintings. Seagulls soared in the distance, their cries adding life to the peaceful scene. How did it go with Sebastian? Elliot asked softly, his tone filled with genuine concern. It went well. I turned to look at him. I thanked him for telling me the truth and said I was sorry for his suffering, but we can't go back. He accepted it, he wished me happiness. Thinking of Sebastian's final, relieved smile, a warm feeling stirred in my heart. He'd been selfish once, but the longing in his paintings and the courage it had taken to face his illness alone were real. Elliot stopped and placed his hands on my shoulders, his gaze focused on mine. And you, have you truly let go of the past? Looking into his eyes, which reflected the glowing sunset and my own silhouette, I nodded firmly. I have. Once, I thought his sudden departure was an uncrossable barrier. But now I realize the past is just that, the past. No matter the regrets or misunderstandings, they're part of who I am. Like the fog in San Francisco, it comes and goes, but it never stays. And now, I cherish what's in front of me, cherish you. Elliot's eyes grew even softer. He pulled me gently into his arms, his voice deep and heartfelt. Thank you for choosing me, for wanting to face the future with me. I rested my head on his chest, listening to his steady heartbeat, feeling utterly at peace. I should be thanking you. Thank you for your understanding, for standing by me when I was confused. You've taught me that true happiness isn't grand gestures or passionate but unstable love like Sebastian's. It's the quiet companionship, the feeling of being cherished. It's the half-spoonful of maple syrup in my hot cocoa, the light left on for me after late nights at work, the ginger soup simmered when I'm sick. The waves crashed against the rocks, their rhythmic whoosh filling the air. Elliot pulled away slightly, his gaze lingering on my face for a moment before he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black velvet box. Dropping to one knee, he held it out to me. My heart skipped a beat, blood rushing to my head as my eyes widened. Tourists nearby paused to watch, their curiosity gentle, but I couldn't take my eyes off him. My cheeks burned, yet I couldn't look away. Evelyn Cartwright, Elliot's voice was sincere, filled with love, a hint of nervousness adding to its warmth. The first time I saw you was at the opening of the Prism Gallery in Union Square. You were wearing that sapphire silk dress, standing so focused in front of Hockney's print, sunlight catching your hair and casting soft shadows from your eyelashes. In that moment, I knew, I'd found the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. He opened the velvet box, revealing a simple yet elegant engagement ring, a platinum band with an oval diamond at its center, surrounded by tiny sparkling stones. It shimmered in the sunset, soft yet unyielding, just like Elliot's love. This past year with you has been filled with more joy and warmth than I ever thought possible. I love the curve of your smile when you laugh, the light in your eyes when you talk about art, the way we wander the farmer's market on weekends hunting for strawberry croissants, the dreams we weave about our future together. His voice grew thick with emotion, but he spoke clearly, each word carrying the weight of his devotion. I know you've been hurt before, that you might be scared to open your heart fully. But I promise you, for the rest of my life, I will love you, cherish you, and protect you. I will never let you face the dark alone, never let you feel abandoned again. No matter what challenges life brings us, I will hold your hand and walk through them with you. Elliot looked up at me, his eyes shining with hope and nervous anticipation. Evelyn, will you marry me? Tears streamed down my face, but this time they were tears of pure happiness and gratitude. Looking at the man on one knee before me, his eyes full of unwavering sincerity, his ears slightly pink with nervousness, I felt a void in my heart fill completely. It was a sense of security, of belonging, that Sebastian had never been able to give me. I will. My voice trembled with emotion, but it was firm, unwavering as I nodded vigorously. Yes, I will marry you. A brilliant smile spread across Elliot's face, as if a heavy weight had been lifted from his shoulders. He stood up, taking my left hand gently, and slipped the ring onto my. It fit perfectly, its cool metal against my skin sending a warm tingle through my body. Then he pulled me into his arms, spinning me around as laughter bubbled out of him, joyful, unrestrained, mixing with the sound of the waves and carried away by the sea breeze. Tourists around us cheered and clapped, some pulling out their phones to capture the moment, but I didn't care. All I could feel was Elliot's arms around me, his heartbeat against my chest, and the overwhelming sweetness of being loved so deeply. As the sun dipped fully below the horizon, the sky darkened, and stars began to twinkle like scattered diamonds across a black velvet canopy. Elliot took my hand, and we sat down on the sand, watching the lights of San Francisco stretch along the coastline, like a glowing necklace adorning the night. Let's buy a little house with a yard in Marin County someday, I said, resting my head on his shoulder, my fingers brushing gently over the ring. We'll plant it full of white and lavender, and build a wooden swing. We can sit outside on weekends, soaking up the sun. Whatever you want, Elliot said, squeezing my hand softly. We'll get a golden retriever, name him Caramel, and take him for walks along the beach every day. And we'll travel the world, my eyes lit up with excitement. We'll see the Mona Lisa at the Louvre, the paintings at the Met, the northern lights in Iceland, the fields of Tuscany. Everywhere you want to go, he pressed a kiss to my forehead, his voice warm with affection. As long as I'm with you, it's perfect. As we talked, a memory popped into my head. Oh, right, Sebastian said he's having a solo exhibition at the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art next month. It's called Echoes in the Fog, all paintings of his memories from Paris. He said there are a lot of portraits of me, ones he painted while he was in treatment. Elliot raised an eyebrow, a playful glint in his eye as he emphasized the words with a smile. Then we'll go together. I want to see just how talented the ex who's been on my fiancé's mind for so long really is. You don't mind? I hesitated slightly. Those paintings were pieces of my past with Sebastian, after all. Why would I mind? He turned to look at me, his gaze soft yet firm. That's part of your story, the part that made you the kind, brave, appreciative woman you are today. And I have no doubt that no matter how beautiful those paintings are, no matter how vivid the memories, your present and your future belong to me. His words made me laugh, filling my heart with warmth and certainty. I leaned back against his shoulder, gazing up at the stars, feeling a sense of clarity I'd never known before. The fog in San Francisco might roll in again, unexpected and thick. Life might bring hardships, surprises, tests. But as long as Elliot was by my side, as long as I had his steady, loving support and this ring on my finger, I knew I could face anything. The past, with all its regrets and misunderstandings, was like the fog that had once clouded my heart, blurring things, making me doubt, leading me astray. But fog always lifts eventually. What truly matters is the sunlight that comes after, the people who stand beside you, the warmth of a love that's steady and true, and the hope of a future filled with joy. I closed my eyes, feeling the sea breeze on my face, the warmth of Elliot's hand in mine, and the overwhelming happiness in my heart. I smiled, a soft, contented smile. This time, I knew, I'd found my true happiness, and I would never let it slip away. In the distance, the waves continued to whisper, as if offering their blessings, as if gently closing the book on the regrets of the past and turning the page to a beautiful new chapter.